Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're tackling a question that's on a lot of people's minds.
Oh, yeah.
Is Google Ads actually worth it?
Mm-hmm.
And to help us unpack this, we're looking at an article called Decoding the Pros and Cons of Google Ads, AdWords Transformed.
Right.
It was written by Tamara Judite, and it was published just last month.
Oh,
So it's pretty up to date, which is important because the digital world moves so fast.
it really does. It's interesting because even Google Ads itself has gone through a major transformation.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You probably remember Google AdWords.
Yeah.
Well, back in
Yes.
2018, they did a big rebrand, and it became Google Ads as we know it today.
So it's more than just a name change.
It really is.
Hmm.
It reflects how online advertising has evolved.
Okay.
It's not just about simple keywords anymore.
Right.
Google Ads now covers everything.
Wow.
From those search ads you see to display ads on websites, even video ads on YouTube,
Let's go.
app promotion even. It's about meeting those potential customers wherever they're hanging out online.
So wider reach, more options. The article talks about how Google Ads has this massive reach.
Absolutely.
We're talking billions of Google searches every single day.
It's incredible.
Imagine your ideal customer is searching for exactly what you offer,
Mm-hmm.
and boom, your ad is right there.
Right place, right time.
That's got to be powerful.
It is. And what really makes Google Ads stand out is the laser focus.
Okay.
We're not talking about those generic ads everyone sees. This is about targeting people based on who they are, what they're interested in, even what they've done online in the past.
So you're not wasting money showing ads to people who don't care.
Exactly. You want to reach the people who are most likely to become customers, and Google Ads helps you do that.
That level of precision has to cost a fortune, right?
You'd think so, but
Yeah.
not necessarily. One of the best things about Google Ads is you control your budget.
Really?
You set daily limits, adjust bids depending on how competitive keywords are.
Yeah.
It's about making the most of every dollar.
I've heard people talk about bidding strategies. What does that even mean?
Basically, it's you telling Google how much you'll pay for each click on your ad.
Oh, okay.
And there are different approaches. You Yeah. can bid for clicks for impressions, meaning just having your ad show up, or even conversions, like someone actually buying your product.
So it's strategic.
Very much so.
One of the things I've always liked about online advertising is the data.
Oh, for sure.
It's not like traditional advertising where you're kind of just guessing. Google Ads lets you track everything.
Exactly. And that data is gold. You can
Mhm.
see how many people are seeing your ads, clicking on them, and even what they do once they're on your website.
So let me get this straight. Impressions, that's how many times your ad is seen.
Yep.
But a conversion is when they actually do something, like sign up for a newsletter or buy something.
Exactly. You're tracking that entire customer journey and using that information to improve your campaigns for better results.
So you can see what's working, what's not, and make changes as you go.
That's the beauty of it. It's all about adapting and refining your strategy for maximum impact.
But it's important to remember that there are some potential downsides to think about, too.
Right, of course. Nothing's perfect.
Exactly.
It's tough, though, right? I mean, we've all spent enough time online to know it's easy to get lost in a sea of ads.
It's true. It's definitely one of the biggest challenges with Google Ads.
Yeah.
The article actually calls it banner blindness.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that.
It's that feeling you get when you've seen so many ads, you just tune them out completely.
Oh, tell me about it. I swear I've gotten so good at scrolling past ads without even realizing it.
It's a real thing. It's called ad fatigue. And for businesses, it means you have to be smart, creative to grab someone's attention.
Mm.
It's not enough to just throw money at Google Ads.
Yeah.
You got to really understand who you're trying to reach. Write ads that hit the mark and make sure they look good too.
So what you're saying is it's not as easy as it sounds. Well, it takes more than just the basics, I'd say. And that brings us to another potential downside. The learning curve. Google Ads gives you a ton of control, but it's not exactly beginner-friendly.
I see what I mean.
There's a lot to learn, how the platform works, all the different ways you can target people, how to bid effectively, and then making sense of all that data you get.
So you might need to put in some time or even get some help to really get the hang of it.
Exactly. It's not one of those things you could just set and forget. You got to put in the work or find someone who can.
Right. So it's an investment.
It is.
Yeah.
And even then, there are things you can't control that can impact your campaigns. Like competition in certain industries can make things more expensive.
That makes sense. The more businesses competing for those same keywords, the more you'll end up paying.
Right. And then there's the whole issue of click fraud. The article mentions this, and it's a valid concern for anyone using pay-per-click advertising.
Click fraud. What's that? Is that like robots clicking on my ads to use up my budget?
Well, it's not always robots. Sometimes it can be competitors or even, people who just want to cause trouble clicking on your ads on purpose to drain your funds.
Oh, it's so annoying.
It's definitely frustrating. But the good news is that Google is pretty good at detecting and filtering out those illegitimate clicks.
Okay, good to know.
They're constantly updating their systems to try to combat click fraud and make sure businesses aren't being taken advantage of.
That's reassuring, at least. But it sounds like I still need to keep a close eye on how my campaigns are doing, even with those safeguards.
Definitely. And one more thing to be aware of. Google have advertising policies rules you need to follow.
Oh, right, of course.
They're strict about what you can and can't say in your ads, what kinds of images you can use.
Well, I guess that's a good thing. No one wants to see those misleading or inappropriate ads.
Exactly. They're looking out for both users and advertisers.
Okay.
So we've talked about the pros and cons of the Google ads, but it's also important to think about how it compares to other advertising options out there.
Yeah, good point. What about traditional advertising? Things like billboards, TV commercials, print ads. Are those even still a thing?
They are, but the biggest difference, and this is where Google Ads has a major advantage, is that laser focus we were talking about earlier.
Oh.
Traditional advertising is much broader. You're hoping to reach your target audience somewhere within a certain area or demographic.
So with Google Ads, you're targeting based on what people are actually interested in and what they're searching for online.
Exactly. You're not just casting a wide net and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
You're putting your message right in front of the people who've already shown interest in what you offer. And when we compare Google Ads to something like social media advertising, it all comes down to the user's intent.
So with Google, they're actively looking for an answer or a product. On social media, it's more like they're checking in with friends or just scrolling around. It's totally different.
Yeah, on social media, you might catch their eye with a cool image or a funny video. But on Google, they're looking for something specific. They're closer to actually buying something.
So higher intent, warmer leads. That makes sense. What about other search engines, though? Google's the big one, but there are others.
You're right. There are other search engines out there, but Google is Google. They're huge. When you advertise on Google, you're reaching the biggest audience online. It's unmatched.
It sounds like Google Ads gives you a lot of tools to reach your people online. But like anything else, you got to be smart about it and understand what it can and can't do.
Absolutely. It's not some magic solution, but when you use it right, Google Ads can really change the game for businesses, big or small.
Well said. Okay, as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of Google Ads, we've got one last thing for you to think about. Remember all those different ad formats we talked about? Search ads, display ads, video ads. Which one do you think would be the best fit to reach your ideal customer?
What really speaks to the people you're trying to connect with? Where do they hang out online? The answer is going to be different for everyone, but finding that perfect match, that's where the magic happens.
And if you want to go even deeper, and we really think you should, we've linked Tamara Judite's full article, Decoding the Pros and Cons of Google Ads, AdWords Transformed, in our show notes.
It's got a ton of great insights that we didn't have time to get to today.
So check it out. Keep those digital marketing skills sharp. And remember, knowledge is power, especially in this crazy digital world.
Until next time, happy advertising.
See you on the next deep dive.